Hi, buddy. The knitters are here.
The knitters are here. Yay. And I am here in Seville, Ohio.
I am here in Medina, Ohio.
And I am here in Homerville, Ohio.
And I'm Alison, and I'm here in Brecksville, Ohio.
I forgot to introduce myself. Thank you,
Thank
Alison. I'm Jennifer.
Crystal.
Darcee.
Alison.
Our glue. Yes.
Yeah.
So it has been quite a while since our last podcast. And I meant to look it up. Does anybody know what number this is? Is it 13 or 14?
14, I think.
14.
Okay.
So we had just started to redirect our podcast back in January and February to start focusing more on where we were. So when the knitters are here, we would be at some really cool locations. And we finally recorded one over at Black Locust, which was our last episode. Mm-hmm. And then in our planning and our future, adventures, the world happened. So that has kind of put us all into, just like everybody else, redirection, refocus, and trying to figure out how things are working in our lives now that this is here. And so we figured we missed each other desperately, and we wanted to get together and see what we've been working on and all that fun stuff. So ladies, how are you doing?
Okay. I feel like my wings are clipped.
Good one. Yeah.
I need a haircut.
I got brave and trimmed up my own a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's working.
There you go.
I'm too afraid.
Necessity, the mother of invention.
Yeah, Dave ordered trimmers, the hair trimmers or whatever, and
Loby.
Oh my gosh, I about cracked up when it came. He went in, he closed the door, you hear them ding when they click on, and I knew he was whacking it. And he comes out of the bathroom with a towel wrapped around his head, and I lost it. I laughed so hard, and I hadn't even seen him. Tears were coming down my face because I just expected this like modern art piece on his head. And he took the towel off, and it looked really good. He did a nice job. There's a few spots, but you have to get kind of close. But with social distancing, nobody's gonna know.
Right.
The question is, will you let him cut your hair now?
I actually did let him trim my neck because the way my hair was cut and the way it's growing in, I had all the shag down along the neck. So I did let him clean that up a little, but it's like, I just can't let him go at it again because then I'll look like I definitely have a bowl cut. And my ears are just not big enough to hold it all back. There's not enough hairspray in the world to keep it all back. So I'm like looking for people who are stylists who can't go back to work that are willing to come and sit in my driveway and cut my hair. I'll put a flippin' plunger on my face if it makes them nervous about burns. I need this
will
cut.
have to do a drive-by just to see that.
Right.
It's just like safety. I'll think of something.
But knitting has really helped me. It certainly reduces my anxiety. So I'm glad I had enough stash.
Yes.
Right.
At the beginning of the year, everybody was talking about knit your stash and stash down 2020 and all of that. And I thought, nah, kidding me? I really don't have a stash yet. I want to build up my stash this year, So because of this, I am like cracking into what I do have, and I am finding patterns like, okay, here's how much yarn I have. I'm going through, I'm finding patterns that I've loved, and I'm trying to knit my stash. Well, I have to.
And I mean, you can get things by mail, but then you just don't get to see them first. So that's hard.
Okay, so Crystal, there you see the little square that goes around whoever's talking. Your cat is so loud that you lit up. Should we introduce your cat?
He won't come in here to let me do that, but the cat that you hear in the background is Hector. And when he meows, it sounds like he's saying, hello, hello.
It does.
So you don't have
There
somebody
you go.
locked in a closet?
No, I do not have somebody locked in the closet. Yeah, really.
Word, Uncle Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darcee, I'm kind of like in between what you're feeling right now because I am still working, but you know, I'm a teacher for 2.5 to 6-year-olds, so Zoom meetings are a little different. Sometimes it's more just advice and coaching parents, you know, just encouraging them because they are so resourceful and so creative. I mean, I cannot get over what these parents are doing for their kids right now. I'm really impressed. They are
like those parents that are working at home and trying to do educational things with their children. That's gotta be hard.
it's challenging, but like you said, like I spent 2.5 hours in a car every day because I drive up with the grandkids, then I drive all the way up to work and then bringing them back, and all of a sudden, like, I'm knitting a lot, and at first I'm like, what's going on? Well, I could stay up till 10 o'clock now. I don't have to go to bed at 8.
Right.
So that's probably going to be the hardest transition going back to work, is losing those hours. But I think I am so grateful for my job and in the fact that I can hopefully go back to work. We'll see what the fall brings.
Right.
But
I'm not looking forward to commute time again. Yeah. And I like not paying for gas. That's been like, people are talking about what gas prices are, and they're really, really super low.
Yeah, we wish we could store them, right?
But I'm like, and I'm not even using it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, you know.
What did I see the other day? That low gas prices during a stay-at-home order is like trying to sell a comb to a bald man.
Right.
It's like,
It just doesn't, yeah.
But I really feel for the people who've lost their jobs and are struggling. I don't know if there are any places to contribute yarn for people who want somebody else's stash to knit with, or I don't know if there's any of that, but I feel for those people.
Yeah,
definitely.
Give to the food banks.
Yeah. Absolutely. And all of those indie dyers and local shops. I mean, there were so many spring events that were coming. Today's local yarn shop day. And, you know, so trying to, I mean, I'm definitely heading to my local yarn shop. I'll call her and she'll have the bags ready. It's Black Locust yarn. She even created these little pins, stay safe, knit at home.
Oh, neat.
So, yeah, you just call her, tell her what you're looking for. She takes pictures, she sends them to you, and she's pretty good about putting colors together if you need something. And honestly, when I go to get mine, there are people on the phone with her. There's bags laying on the table for people to
Well, that's good. Great.
Yeah. So in her shop, I do see that at least there are some people coming in, but I mean, I'm only getting a little bit here and there because at the same time, like financially, like I don't want to spend too much right now. I kind of am on a little bit of a freeze. I had a little bit of a stash set aside that because we were just getting ready to go to Pittsburgh to the Fyberfest. So I had a little stash tucked away. So I've been spending that here at Black Locust instead.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So I decided to sign up for the corn skein that Harps and Thistles had.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to because I'm not really in with, you know, like surprise color choices, but they had it so that you picked a specific word and then they used that word as kind of a theme for the yarn. So what I sent the word in jewel because I like jewel tones.
So do I.
I can't remember her name. Is it Chris?
No, Cindy.
Cindy, yes, Cindy sent me a lovely little note saying jewel tones were easy for her because she loves amethyst. So she sent me this lovely.
So your color.
It is, and it's a really nice yarn. It's the Scrumptious, 4
Wow.
ply. And then with it came this lovely handmade shawl.
Oh, pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, and she had suggested this shawl pattern. Now, I don't tend to do shawls, so I'll have to find something else. But yeah, so my local yarn shop is Really Designing Woman, but they didn't really have a promotion, but I think you can order things now from them. But I think I'm good for a little bit.
Yeah, so if anybody watches locally, if you go to Black Locust Farm or to the Knitters Are Here on Facebook page, they do a virtual knit every Saturday at 11:30. And she will also shop the store with you. So if you're looking for anything particular, she'll take the camera around and show you things right there and offer anything you might need there.
Yeah, and certainly Artful Yarn in Chagrin Falls, Harps and Thistles, Designing Woman, and I'm blocking River Colors. I know they're all doing online things as well.
Yeah.
The other thing I got as far as an
Cast on,
acquisition was
Oh,
this,
cast on too. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's them. This bamboo pop. Longtail Knits had a day right before they, were ordered to be closed that they extended their hours that day. And I ran over there just because I was really anxious and feeling really low that day. And I got this bamboo pop, which is a mix of cotton and bamboo, and I'm loving it. It's
Oh,
really
cool.
great.
I have some of that. I haven't used it yet, but I have some.
I
Yeah,
love
that sounds right up your alley, Crystal. Cotton and bamboo.
I know. That's why I have
it.
some.
Yeah, it's got a very subtle sheen on it. Even though it's cotton, it's not splitty. It's pretty nice. When we get around to works in progress, I'll show you what I'm doing with it.
All right.
Cool.
Well, Crystal, I thought you were about ready to say something. Were you going to say something earlier?
I've not really had a whole lot of issue knitting through my stash because I have a lot of stash, but I don't knit that fast. So I'm doing well as far as
You're stocked.
my stuff. Yeah.
I have so many
It's
projects
all that stock
in my
knitting,
mind. Knowing I can't knit fast enough to get to them all is frustrating.
Yes, there's like
Yes.
this frantic feeling of, I've been monogamous pretty much. I mean, I know it's the end of April. It's only 4 months into the year, but like, I felt like Navelli. I stuck with Navelli, and it's like every project. Oh, I saw that. So every project I kind of like just stuck with it. Now, like I didn't even write down all my whips because I kind of got a little
Oh.
You're
like
scattered.
I just got freaky about it. So, well, let's hop in. And Crystal, do you want to start up with you? Do you have any FOs that you've done or?
No. I haven't finished anything since I finished my mom's sweater in January. I haven't finished anything.
And that
That's
was
why I'm like,
Turtle Dove?
what?
That was Turtle Dove that you did for your mom?
Yes, I did Turtle Dove for my mom. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're working on some pretty complicated whips. So give yourself
Well,
some
Navelli. Navelli is the biggest thing. And then I just got to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I have got to do something other than this sweater. So I have 2 active whips, and when we get there, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. So Darcee, we'll hop down to you.
So I have one whip, and it's the Navelli.
Oh, I thought we were doing finished object.
Oh,
Finished
finished
object.
object?
Yes.
Oh, I have one finished object, and it's this. What was this? The Susan Joy Triangle Shawl?
I think that's what you said, yes. And that's the yarn that you got at Cast On when we went for
Cast
the
On.
Chelsea
Chelsea
Lux.
Purls.
Yeah.
Chelsea.
So this
Chelsea.
is their Lux and the mohair combined. Can you see that?
It's the cobblestone with the mohair.
Yes.
Okay.
In colorway Candied Apple. And I ran out. So I think up here at the beginning, I have extra rows. I don't know that I misread the pattern or what happened, but I think I have extra rows than intended, which meant that when I got to the bottom, I didn't have enough yarn to get me all the way through with the cobblestone and the mohair combined. And somebody graciously gifted for my birthday their skein. I don't know where you are, but you're over there to me. And I was able to get to a point, I didn't actually finish all of the bottom because I did run out of mohair.
I got that too.
So, yeah. So like the last row and the bind off are without mohair, and then the tassels are without mohair.
Okay.
Cool.
But
If
I'm
you
okay.
hadn't said anything, I don't think we would have noticed.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that. It all worked out. I didn't put as many tassels on it as the pattern calls for, just because, you know, I have a big chest.
You didn't look like you had
Not more
pasties.
tassels hanging anywhere near where they needed to be to accentuating the obvious. So I just put the 2 on the ends and the 1 on the point. So,
Nice.
Pretty.
but it's nice. It's not huge. It's just enough.
It's not a schlanket.
No, thank goodness I don't need another one of those. But yeah, it's just right. It hits me right to just below the belly button.
It's pretty.
So I like it. But that's my only
Nice.
FO.
All right, Allison, how about you on FOs?
I have a couple. I am wearing one. This was Push My
Ooh,
Button
oh.
by Mary
Oh, yeah,
Annarella.
buttons.
It's actually an all stockinette, but it has these false button plackets. And I really did it because I was inspired by these beads that I bought.
They're gorgeous.
They're pretty
Oh,
crazy. And I really encourage you to look at bead shops to replace your buttons because there's all kinds of fun things.
So
And I
pretty.
have to say it was kind of a boring knit because it was all stockinette, but Mary Annarella's patterns are very well written, very well fitted. And I like fitted, you know, looks.
Yeah.
So, and this one I made out of a yarn that I had bought in a retreat I went to at Whidbey Island. I'm looking really quick here. It was
I remember you
called,
mentioning that.
oops, should have been ready. Lotus Fingering by Yarn Love. And I have to say, it's lovely. It's merino and yak.
Whoa.
It's really nice.
It's not itchy at all.
Oh no, it's
No?
lovely and smooth. And doesn't look like it's going to peel as far as I could tell. So my other whip will look for, or finished object will look very familiar.
Yes.
So this is the Vireo pattern. The last one I did, which I made out of all wool, I just couldn't wear it. It was just too itchy.
Okay.
Hang on,
So
Allison.
I
you're-
ended up
oh,
giving it to my friend Sherry. And she loves it. It was too
Aw.
itchy and it was also too big. So this Vireo is by Irina and Anikeeva. And this time I did it out of an acrylic yarn, which I don't usually work with. This was also a long tail knit last minute purchase, but it's this universal acrylic and it's really soft.
I
really
like
it.
that.
Yeah. So those are my 2 finished objects.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Okay, so
2 sweaters.
2 sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
raise
the
you
Vireo was
sweaters.
and really quick.
I'll raise your 2
raise your
sweaters
sweater.
with a vest and a shawl. So this was my most recent finished object. This is the Spring Thing by Espastrico. Theirs is this real pretty pink. I had the pattern here a little bit ago. And super fun to knit. It was one of those, hey, I'm gonna watch a lot of TV, so you don't have to pay much attention. And then when you're done at the end, you go back and you pick up all those, the yarn and front stitches, and then you add these teeny tiny little tassels. So that was kind of fun to do. I did that last week.
Teeny tiny little tassels.
They are teeny tiny. So when she had gotten the yarn for Susan Joy up at Cast On in Vermilion, I had also picked up yarn for Boardwalk, and I got the Loft and Fauna. Yep, there it is. And so this is what I was working on when all started kind of happening. So I did finish that.
Ooh, I like it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
This is kind of the true, this is when it finally occurred to me, you're a loose knitter case. You gotta back off. So I've got to figure that out because I actually have to go down almost 2 needle sizes to get gauge. Yes, gauge. I've had to start swatching. I wanted to be one of those people that said, swatchy, smotchy. I don't do that. Yeah, I'm going to have to start swatching. So, but this is fun. I wore it the other day with like a mustard turtleneck underneath. And all of a sudden it felt like, cause it's just, it's very tweedy kind of, I guess, but I felt like a 1970s couch.
So, but
because of the mustard sweater and this, it just, I'm like, man, I think I had a couch like this growing up.
so how is this yarn? How does it, once you, because didn't she say that it breaks?
It breaks. It doesn't break when you knit. But
That's
if you take it and go like this, it'll break. I mean, absolute no pressure at all. The whole time I was knitting, I had no problem with breakage. Just when I pulled it, that's when it broke. So
and a spit splice was enough to.
I don't know if I spit splice right. Don't you just put the ends together and spit and?
Well, you kind of shred them a little bit, and then
Okay.
kind of intermingle them, and then go like this.
Okay, yeah, because
And go
I
like this.
wouldn't do that so well. So
Now,
I
what was
brought-
it? Which yarn was it?
it was, where'd that ball band go? Loft?
Loft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wondered about Loft. Is it
Loft.
soft enough for next to skin?
It is soft, yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm glad she warned me ahead of time because I
Yeah.
got freaked out because yarn's never done that to me.
So does it, now that it's knit into a garment, it doesn't like the edges doesn't fray or
No.
come apart at all?
It's a solid garment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's solid.
it doesn't say how to wash it on the tag.
Yeah. It's
I'm really glad she told you about that. I had bought a yarn that was really expensive, and I loved it. It was hand dyed and all that kind of stuff. And I found it was breaking like that, and I assumed it was bad yarn, even though I paid a lot of money for it. And I threw it out, and then later learned that that's what happens, and it would have been okay. It's like, oh well. So.
Then the next one, I've had this yarn for a long time. It's the Carra Creek hand dyed in Lodi, Ohio.
Oh.
And
It's that natural dyed.
yeah, like cherry and dandelion and all that. And I had received a gift card to Black Locust, and I knew exactly, I'm like, I want a sweater's quantity in this because I saw on the Grocery Girls where she did the super simple summer sweater and all the stripes. And I thought, oh, I love the different colors. And I tried the super simple summer sweater, but you know, it's boxy and I just really shouldn't do boxy. So I did Flax. And once again, this is my second attempt to say, hey, you're a loose knitter. So I actually used the Flax Light, which is the fingering weight pattern. And this is categorized as worsted weight wool. And I used, I think, size 4 needles on worsted weight.
That's gorgeous.
So this,
Love that.
I actually did it more in the sense of a fingering weight. And so it's just got this little detail on the sleeve. So it goes with the Barley hat. Oh, I did a hat too. I have another finished object. I just didn't bring it in. I did a hat out of these colors with my leftovers in the Barley because it matched
cool.
It took her 2 hours to do. At least that seemed what it like. 2 hours.
Hey, I'm casting on a hat. Hey, look, finished object. I'm telling you, I'm a frantic knitter when I'm like in this kind of zone. So then, where'd the other one go? Busting stash. I've always wanted to knit the Avalanche, and it calls for an Aran weight yarn, and I just can't find Aran weight yarn. And I know worsted is compatible at times too, but
Yeah, worsted. Yeah.
someone had gifted me free to a good home, Miss Alison. She was taking some yarn to give away up at Solder. And we opened the trunk and I saw free to a good home. I'm like, seriously? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, it's not leaving my trunk. So I kept that yarn and I made the Avalanche.
Wow.
Very nice.
So that was another fun knit. So I loved this lace pattern in the front. It was an easy to memorize kind of thing. And it was it was just a lot of fun to do. So
Now, is that the one you did some shaping on?
a little bit, yes, a little bit. So I'm trying to remember what had happened. I don't know, but I think I panicked at one point, but it works. So
Will you wear it?
oh yeah,
Okay.
everything I just showed I actually wear. So
So speaking of yarn weights, I recently took the interweave course on yarn, and I've taken a similar course before, but years and years ago. But anyway, it's half off right now if anybody's interested in those interweave courses. And the one on yarn, and that lady's explanation of yarn weights, and how to use them and how to use the different fibers just made a whole lot of sense.
ooh,
So
yeah,
for $15 or whatever it costs, I think it's worth it.
nice.
Or you could read Claire Park's book, which is upstairs.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but so,
Oh my goodness.
And then didn't you also do another one?
Yeah, I did. But I mailed it off.
Oh, okay.
I made a little baby sweater.
aw.
And this is out of I'm not gonna pronounce that. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
yeah, so super cute. There's a lady at school who actually took maternity leave, I think a week before this happened. So
Okay.
God bless that substitute. I'm telling you, she's doing a great job.
Wow.
But yeah, so I sent that off to her because it's just, hey, I have yarn. Hey, there's a baby sweater. Okay, let's make it. So, but that's in the hat, and I did a little pom pom with all the colors in the hat too. So it was
Oh,
really,
neat.
it was really cute.
Nice. Nice.
All right, so now we're back to whips, Crystal.
Whips. Okay, so I have Navelli, and it's getting there slowly but surely. I only have this much left of my first skein of yarn, so that's progress. I am I'm past where I guess the sleeves would start, and I'm doing the front or the back now, and I have that much done. So
Yay.
it's coming along. I haven't worked on it for probably a week or more now, but I'm loving this yarn and how it is
Yeah.
pulling.
Yeah, I like
And I
that.
was concerned when I split and started going back and forth that it would change. And it has, but not as much as I was afraid it would.
Oh wow.
So
I really do like that pull.
I love this yarn. I can't wait to get it finished and take a picture and send it to oh shoot, what's the name of the store? Something on the Glen. I can't think of it right offhand, but I got it in Watkins Glen, New York. So I want to send them a picture of this local yarn. But so that's the first one, and it'll get finished one of these years.
Kind of like when you look at granite or not marble, but granite, how it has.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of when I look at.
That's a good
yarn.
analogy, yeah.
And then the other one, how did this get stuck in here? Got it. The other one, so I just got to the point where I had to take a break, and I had gotten a skein of this Red Heart Roll With It yarn. This is Lilac Breeze, I think is the name of it. And the picture on the pattern on the thing is just so stinking cute. So I was like, I'll just do a scarf. That won't take me that long to do. Don't make that roll. And it takes two of them.
It
So
takes two of those?
yes. So I am.
It's a Frank scarf.
Yes. Except I use size 9 needles.
Oh.
So the color
Sure.
changes as it goes
Oh,
along.
Pretty.
I like it.
Yeah. And
It's
this
gonna be
first
really
roll,
long scarf.
it says 72 inches. So I don't know if I'm going to use 2 full, but this is what I have left of this first roll.
Wow.
And then, well, I'll measure it and see how long it is before I start the second roll. I don't know that it'll take a full second roll, but I also got another color on this called this one's Lilac Breeze. I got Beach House, which is really pretty too. I think I'm going to use that for a shawl though, not a scarf, but I really like this. It's really, it's an acrylic, but it's fun. It's easy. You know, it's going to wash up well. So not worried about that at all. So those are my 2 active whips.
Nice.
Nice. All right, Darcee.
Navelli. That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, but you're further along than I am. So how?
Well, I finished. It's a lot of chaos with all these strings and things. But I finished the back.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that I'm assuming that that's how that wears. I did the wraps and turns, I think.
Okay.
If not, oh well. But I'm now into the wraps and turns on the back. Or
On
the
the front?
front.
Ooh.
Back first and then the front.
You're pretty close to done then, huh?
Yeah.
So once I finish this, I think I have 8 more rows, and then I can start
Ribbon,
the
yeah.
sides and the sleeves, and
Okay.
I just want to be done. You know, I'm so
It's pretty.
ready to do something else.
When I started back on after I finished Mom's Sweater, I started on the Navelli. It just seemed like that's all I was doing, and I just needed a break
Yeah.
from it. So
And you went
Well, I'm
from
glad that.
turtle dove to a Navelli.
Yeah.
right,
Oh my
That's great.
bulky to fingering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
that's
glad
very
that I'm
interesting.
into like something else other than like the body, which is just back and forth of
Right.
knitting and purling. I'm kind of glad. Like I'm actually this knit one purl one ribbing. I'm like, ooh, I'm so excited. Knit one purl one. Ordinarily, I'm like, oh, I hate that. But
I had
after
this
doing
thing.
just talking it, it's just nice.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
but yeah, that's my only whip.
I only have one whip too because I've been unusually monogamous. So I am doing this.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
This is called the Monterrey Tee, and this is out of the bamboo pop.
Oh, okay.
That is a
That's
nice pattern.
The this little pattern though is driving me crazy because I like to knit and watch TV. It's not a good idea with this.
No.
So my back, which I have started already, is going to be plain up until the shoulder, and then I'll do this
Okay.
on the back. But this is the pattern here,
What's it
Monterey
called?
Tee. I
Monterey.
had seen this as a model on one of our yarn tour stops.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
The boat neck comes too far over the shoulders for me, so I did actually put in some shaping for the armholes, and it's going to be just like out to here instead of out to here. So
Okay.
but the back will be more plain, and that's my only whip.
Well, that's good because I have like a million whips because it's all about what can I possibly cast on. I'm running out of needles to put it on.
Seriously, do you have enough needles to get you through all your whips?
Speaking of needles, it's over there. I just bought a set of interchangeables. So
Oh.
I was waiting for my birthday to buy them. And, well, no, I thought maybe I had the box here. And we got our stimulus check, and we both wanted to take some of it and put it in the bank and some of it to stimulate our local businesses. So we each took a little bit. And
I'm taking you shopping for rationalization.
yeah. I don't know. Do they sell that rationalization?
No, you're a good rationalizer.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. So instead of waiting for my birthday to buy my interchangeables, I called up Kathy, and she had a set of, because I in this whole process of being a loose knitter and noticing I knit differently on metal needles versus wood needles. And I have a set of plastic interchangeables that I actually like a lot, but they're blunt, so blunt.
Right.
And
yes.
so she had me try out, Crystal and I went to a yarn tasting like that Friday before they shut everything down. And yep. And she had me try some of these olive wood Addy Clicks. And I really liked the way they felt. And so I thought, well, I'll wait till May, and get them for my birthday. So I didn't wait. I just went and got them like 2 weeks ago.
Happy birthday.
Yay!
Happy belated birthday.
No,
happy early birthday.
Really. So maybe I bought them for Mom's birthday. Mom's birthday was a couple days ago. But so what I have right now is my one whip is I'm working on the Grande double wrap. So I did the garter and now I'm on this little boxy stitch thing here.
Oh, nice.
So this is the one I'm like, I really, really want to finish this because tomorrow, this is by Cozy Up Knits. It's the Grande double wrap with a shot of brioche. So I have to learn how to brioche when I'm done with this section. And they're releasing another pattern called What the Crux, and that's coming out tomorrow. And I really, I know, What the Crux. I guess the yarn company is Crux Fibers, but I don't have that yarn. So, oh, I'm gonna crinkle. Let's see if I can do it fast. So I have some of this gold left over from my Navelli, and I had some minis from, oh, that's a tissue. Some minis left are from Tina's Twisted Fibers.
Yeah.
And so it's
Nice.
all gonna go together.
Yes, very well.
Yeah. So that is in a bag, ready to go. I just need the pattern, which is being released tomorrow. I also just started today the local yarn shop scarf, which I've never knit a Casapinka before. Wait a minute.
I was gonna say, is that Casapinka?
It is. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not like showing anything I shouldn't. But it's called Breathe and Hope, and all the local yarn shops have it right now. But I really, I loved that
I
pattern.
really like that.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kept it super local, and not only did I go to my local yarn shop, but I got Destination Yarns. So that's a local dyer. And I have Storm Cloud and my grandfather's barn, which is
Oh,
the colorway for Black Locust. I want to finish my Seeds of Kindness, which I got at the yarn tour, and I
yes.
haven't really,
Could you show that closer?
from Farmhouse. Yes. Let me pull this out.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I totally forgot about this in my closet. I pulled it out. I'm like, ooh, I want to finish this. I want to finish this. So then the next section is I knit this till I run out, and then I start with that.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
Let me interrupt you there, Jen. Jennifer, what is the pattern you're doing those in?
the Seeds of
Seeds
Kindness.
of Hope. Seeds of Kindness.
Yeah, up here it is. It's from Farmhouse. We got it on our yarn tour.
So you should have that, Allison.
Okay. Maybe.
And also with Cozy Up Knits, they were talking about Pip and Pim and the Mima or the Mima. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Mima. And it is a free pattern right now. It's a cardigan and it's free until the end of April. I've been wanting to do it, but it's fingering weight. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I could do another fingering weight sweater. But I have all this fingering weight from Heidi and Lana, and it's exactly the amount I need to do this.
Okay.
So,
I thought you had decided to do something else with that.
oh, who knows what?
That thing I think has been like 2 or 3 different things at one time, right?
Yeah, it has. It cycles through. But I am going to step away for just a second because my husband's locked himself out and he's out there ringing the doorbell and he's looking at me in the window and I'm like, sorry, dude, I'm podcasting. You got to just wait outside. Luckily, it's a nice day.
Little podcast drama.
So I'm going to mute myself. You guys keep talking.
All right.
Okay, so that was whips. So we finished whips.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to move on to acquisitions?
Well, what was that thing that you were talking about on YouTube, Allison?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I could do that. So one of the things that we decided to do was try and feature maybe a technique and do a review of YouTube how-to videos. So you don't have to go through all of them to see if you like them. So what I did recently was I reviewed videos or YouTube videos for the tubular cast-on.
Yes.
And so I reviewed 8 different YouTube videos, and we will have in our tech notes or however we're going to do this in our new Zoom
In our
format.
show notes, yeah.
Yeah, the different videos that I did. And basically it comes down to the tubular cast-on is kind of a family of cast-ons that you do a little bit of double knitting. so that the bottom part of your cast on just looks like the stitches continue around. So you're doing a little bit of double knitting and then you put it back together and then you continue on. It's stretchy. There's some recent patterns that have called for it, like the Weekender, which was very popular. So I thought I'd review that. So I reviewed Andrea Mowry's Jimmy Bean's Wools, While They Play, Pearl Soho, Suzanne Bryant, Very Pink Knits, Roxanne Richardson, and Miriam Felton.
Okay.
And it kind of depends whether you like to do provisional cast on or not, whether you can recognize that stitches are turned, that you have to knit into the back of them or not. So you'll see in my summary the ones that do those and don't do those. And then my recommendation was that for videos with a provisional cast on, I like the Very Pink Knit ones, as well as the detail of Roxanne Richardson's. And for videos using project yarn without the provisional cast on, I like the While They Play YouTube. But also Andrea Mowry's was good there. So you'll see more detail on those YouTube reviews on our notes.
Yep, we'll put those in the show notes below. And if we get savvy enough, we'll stick them in the show notes on Ravelry. I always forget about Ravelry's, our group.
I'm going to step away for a second because there's an acquisition I need to show you.
Okay.
So while I let my husband in, I grabbed my Barley hat.
Yes.
Yeah, so I used the colors.
And you put a palm on yours. Did it call for a palm?
I don't think
I
so.
didn't on mine.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
So, but I figured I had enough left over to play around with that.
So the
Sweet.
scarf that you're wearing, Jen.
Yeah.
It's self-striped, and we didn't anticipate that, right?
Right. I couldn't quite tell, like when I was, I don't know yarn dyeing enough to be able to look at a skein and go, oh, that's going to stripe, or that's going to speckle, or that's going to pool. So, yeah, when I first started, like the stripes were super defined. And then it just kind of, the stripes are still there, but you can, it was just interesting to knit. The original one does not have striped yarn.
Right, it's speckled.
Yeah.
So how do you tell? Does anyone know how you tell by looking at a hank of yarn if it's going to self-stripe or if it's just going to speckle? I mean, how do you figure that out?
So if you
I know there is a method to it, and there's a whole book about that, but I haven't read that book, so I don't know offhand. I think it has something to do with how long their individual dye sections are and how they're placed, and I have to plead ignorance.
yeah.
I think you're right.
I
It
think
has
you can
something to
figure
do with
out
the
by being short ones, you know. Short
yeah. It
little
has
dots.
to do with the length of the dye. You know, where if you take it out of the the knot and have the oval, if you can see longer, like long short, it's more likely to be a stripe. If the dye spots are shorter, I think it's more likely to be variegated.
Okay.
But I know some people are able to purposely pool,
Yeah.
depending on which yarn they use, and there was a book
That's
out a couple
amazing.
years ago about that.
I was watching Olive and 2U live dye session, and that was just amazing to me, the way she like put the dye on the yarn itself, and then where she flicked some of the dye to make a speckle.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how does she know how that's all gonna kind of play out? And then we
Probably
saw
experience.
it finished, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. So I ordered it, of course.
Well, and the other thing about dyers is I'm sure they keep a recipe book, but the fact that they can reproduce colors, I understand
Right.
it's dye lots, but
Right.
oh my God.
And they can make each skein, each hank of yarn the same.
Yeah.
They can make a whole bunch of them at once, and then like 6 months later dye up the exact same thing, have it speckle in the exact same way. That's amazing to me. I don't know how they can do that.
Sorry.
I'm not that creative.
That's why we knit
I
it.
have to show you my other acquisition, and this was spurred by our trip to Sauter Village. You always learn something when you talk to other knitters. And I had been playing around with trying to find the yarn bras or the sock holder, the
Oh yeah,
yarn
the
socks.
Mhm.
yarn
And I
sock.
was looking
Yeah.
all over and
Or the
found them
yarn
like $10
sleeves.
each or something on Etsy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, yarn sleeves, right. But one of the ladies there showed us how she had gotten to the dollar store and gotten socks and used them as the yarn sleeves.
Okay.
And so I went to my local Mark's, and for $2.49, you get 6 pairs of these. And these fit really well, you know, like the little no-show
Are
socks,
those
adult
kids
socks.
size socks or women's?
Women's. These are women's,
Okay.
and these fit really well over a normal, you know, 400-yard fingering skein kind of thing.
Oh.
And then also I bought, like, for 99 cents, the little baby socks, which fit really well over smaller skeins or, you know, your little bits of leftovers. And
Yeah.
I have a set of these for each of you that when I see you again,
Oh,
Aw, thank you.
but, you know, always take advantage
At
of
the
talking
show?
with other knitters, and, you know, when you go to shows and things, there's always something to learn, no matter how experienced you are.
So how did you,
Absolutely.
where do you cut to make your sock things?
Do you
I
just
don't.
stick it in the sock, or do
You
you have
just
to
stick
cut
it in the
toe?
sock.
Just
Okay.
stick it in
Ah,
the sock.
This belongs to one of you, so I haven't done anything, but, you know, you just take it apart and stuff it in there.
Brilliant.
So
Sweet. And
ah.
I'm using a Ziploc.
That way you don't
Works
get this
too.
kind of thing where it gets all flubby.
Yeah, it's getting all weird shaped
Yeah.
and it's getting all
Yeah.
messy.
And that's nice that there's a little bit of compression with these so they don't like fall
Yes.
apart as easily.
Yeah.
Right.
The skeins don't fall apart as easily.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So Jen, you
Shoot.
wanted to talk about your acquisitions?
I kind of already did when I mentioned the Addies, the needles.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I just
Me
got,
too.
what's that?
I'm done with mine because the incorporated.
Yeah, and then the yarn that I picked up for local yarn shop day for today.
What do
All
you
right,
have?
so here's a
Crystal?
question. When we're out of our shutdown,
Mm-hmm.
is there something you plan to look for?
Somebody to hug, other than my husband. I love hugging my husband, but it's like I see people and I'm like, okay, all right.
I want to go out to have like a cup of tea and a dessert with people.
I know. I want to get
Yeah.
together with coffee and knit. I miss you girls. It sucks. I'm
Yeah.
here all day long. You know, Frank's gone for 12 hours out of each day when he's at work, and I'm home alone. And I'm like, this sucks. Like you know, as much as I like being at home, I'm boring. You know, I can't self-entertain. I'm not like a 4-year-old.
That's where I love all of these fiber-based
Yes.
YouTubes. My
Yes.
gosh, like I feel like I'm trying to take in as much as I can through that. And
I've been
I don't
watching
They
the
really
Grocery
help,
Girls
yeah.
like crazy.
they're on
But then
every
again, I'm also watching a lot of backpacking YouTube channels because we were supposed to be next week going on a 3-day backpack in Kentucky. That's obviously canceled down the Red River Gorge because that's closed. So I was hoping there it is,
Kentucky.
Kentucky. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels on, packing my pack, how to make it lighter, and just between that and knitting and stuck in the house, and then when I do have free time, it's raining. I'm like, what is with this? Like I'm destined to just be stuck indoors all the time.
Are you doing any Zoom or FaceTime get-togethers with other friends?
With like my mom and my sister and some with the turtles, we talk every once in a while, but not
Good.
anything too major because I'm still working. So
Right.
Yeah, our school gets together once every other week for a happy hour, and it's good to see everybody from school too.
yeah.
Definitely.
Do you have anything new, Crystal?
We haven't done like acquisitions for a while, and I know when we went to Cast On, we had mentioned that I was looking for the new Heidi and Lana and didn't find it. And
Yeah.
I have somehow lost the ability to find the comments on our YouTube channel. So I was
Oh.
just gonna say, there was somebody who had asked what I had gotten,
Yes, what you
and
got.
what I got was the Chelsea Luxe in, I don't remember
Stiletto
the
and jeans.
yes, denim and stiletto.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got 3 skeins of this, and I'm gonna make the Millie, which I think is a nice and knit
Mhm.
pattern. And she had a sample there in a different color, but I love this color, and the Millie was just so cute in the slubby yarn. So that's what I got there. And then I went shopping, that I think it was when we went to Black Locust and did our podcast there.
Yes.
I fell in love with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is oh shoot, I don't know, Stitched Together.
Yes.
And
With
it's
the
tardy sock,
needles?
and it's swearing like a sailor. And then they had a mohair to go with it. So I think I'm just
love
gonna,
that.
I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a cowl with it and just hold them together and just knit until I'm done,
Make
or if
this.
I'm going, or that, something like that. So it's just a 1 skein. So
Yes.
I have plans for it, sort of. And then I belong to Destination Lane, the knit club, and or yarn club. And 1 month you get a skein of yarn from Destination Yarns, and the next month you get a bag from Aran Lane Bags. So I don't think we've shown anything since the beginning of the year. So in January, February, the yarn was this, which is 7 Mile Beach. And then the bag
Wow.
is this cute little small bag.
Mhm.
And the sheeple, is on the beach.
Aw.
Kind of cute. It has a little snap to it to hang on to, drawstring. Very, very cute. And then March, I showed you guys the yarn, but March, the destination was the Aran Islands.
Yes.
So it's nice and green, little bits of blue in there. And then I just got the bag the other day, so you guys haven't seen this either.
Ooh.
It's a sweater bag.
What?
Oh, wow.
That.
Like that. And then see the sheeple.
Aw,
He's knitting an Aran sweater.
Oh my god.
It has a strap on it, and it's a drawstring. Flattens out really
Cool.
nicely.
Wow.
Yes.
And whose bags are these, Crystal? Who did you say?
These are Aran Lane.
Aran Lane.
ERINLAN.
ERINLANE. But yeah, very nice bags. Very, very cute. So that's pretty much my acquisitions.
Nice.
Yeah.
I only have
So-
one, and it arrived today in the mail.
Oh.
Ooh.
Exciting.
So I was watching the live Facebook of Olive and 2U, EWE, which is 2 women, and the dyer, she was doing like a Facebook Live dyeing a special colorway it's an exclusive colorway. It's called Kaleidoscope, and it was based off of succulent plant.
What?
So she dyed that, and then of course I pre-ordered it because it's gorgeous and I couldn't wait. But while I was in the shopping mode on her website, I put something else in my cart too. Arrived today. Look how cute the bag is.
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
So inside the bag is the bag, and it came with this.
Oh my.
Oh, how
What's the
pretty.
name of that?
It's their Twain base, so it's the sock weight. I plan to make socks, and it's called Celebration.
Wow.
Very pretty.
So
So
I
you'll
got this.
celebrate
and
when
the
you're done
Kaleido-
making socks.
Huh?
You'll celebrate when you're done making socks.
And along with it, they sent a little note on the back thanking me for my order and for watching the Facebook Live and doing a pre-order.
Nice.
And they sent a little sample of, super soap wash
Oh, okay.
and then a little stitch marker.
Oh,
Oh, very
cute.
nice.
Nice packaging.
Yeah, so that's my acquisition. That's what I got. Look at that bluish.
That's gorgeous.
Nice. And is there a little bit of sandy brown to it, or is that more
There's
gold?
some of-
It's like a gold.
too.
Yeah.
Like red and gold.
Oh,
So the kaleidoscope is a lot of this same like blues so it goes like these light blues into like this purple plum and
okay.
then the Kelly bright green in the center. So it kind of looks like the plant itself. So, and then it repeats on the opposite side. So it was really cool.
Very
Neat.
nice.
So that's what I
Pretty
got. I'm excited. I want to hurry up and finish this so I can do other things.
Yes.
Right.
But I also have to start, knitting things for the shop for winter time. So
And the shop again. Let's talk about the shop.
peacocks and pearls. This is the equivalent of my shop. So yeah, hats, scarves, mittens,
Yeah.
socks if I could ever get to them. So a lot of custom order. But yeah,
Good.
Excellent.
that's all I got.
Okay, ladies. So hope everybody stays healthy and safe. You guys,
Yes.
as well as our viewers. To our viewers, thank you so much for subscribing and watching us. Please thumbs up, give us a comment, tell us
Like and subscribe.
what to say, and hopefully
We'll try and be someplace interesting next time too.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. Maybe when it opens up, we'll all figure out a way to get to another yarn shop.
Yeah.
I don't know how we could stay 6 feet apart and cast on though.
No.
Well, we might find a 6-foot table and sit at different angles
There
around
you
the
go.
table.
Great.
There we
Great.
go. I have masks. So
Alrighty.
I've made masks. All right, everyone.
Yeah, I got some here.
Yep. There
Yep.
you go. So stay safe and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.